that are woven in the fabric of creation, which we can talk about at greater length soon. But it speaks of these grand ideas and realms beyond our reality of existence. And it speaks of these higher elements. At the same time, it speaks about what's inside of us. So it's like exploring the beyond and exploring the within. And although it sounds like it couldn't, these two areas of discussion, of focus, of study, couldn't be further from each other, the truth is they are intimately connected. Because when you understand the spiritual energies in the universe, you can understand the spiritual realities inside yourself. And conversely, when you understand the spiritual energies inside yourself, you can understand the patterns of spirituality in the universe itself. It's almost like if you take a drop of water and human DNA, you take a small sample, just one hair follicle, and you can get a reading of the entire system of the human being. So there's a verse that...
He's talking about cloning, basically. You will one piece of your hair, you can be cloned.
King Solomon or King David. It's, in the Hebrew, it's Umibsari Ekze Elokah. In the English, what it means is, from my flesh, I perceive the divine. And there are different ways of understanding this. One simple way of understanding this is...
I'm not interested in what he has to say. What you would have to say watching this would be more interesting to me, probably. So, here's the thing. The spiritual realms around us, most people are unaware of, or at least unaware that there are systems of understanding it. They might say they believe in God, so they believe in heaven, they believe in angels, extraterrestrials. They just, don't really want to deal with angels, because fallen angels, or angels that come to Earth, are pretty scary. When God comes to Earth, he's pretty pissed, historically speaking, as far as we know. But what bothers me is the amount of struggle that people go through spiritually, from the exorcism of Emily Rose, which is a strong indictment of Catholicism, to a lot in the Talmud, which is a damning indictment of Judaism and closed communities of sects of Judaism, which are as close to, there's many religious satanic cults in the world. Judaism is one. Islam is another. Judaism and a lot of its communities and subsets. What bothers me the most, and that's terrible. It's terrible. What's even worse is that the people that are struggling with the spiritual complexities of this life, past lives, but they're experiencing it in this life, they've not had something tangible to hold on to. And as a result, they've turned it into games, and it's a very dark web. So he can say heroically that these theoretical high sages of wisdom, I dare anyone to tell me who they are, who decided that in this age, these teachings should be released. This video is a year old. I don't know who this guy is. The idea of the humans being a golem, which he mentioned earlier, and I mentioned in the last video I did, to me is profane because I know what black magic, Scientology, NASA, secret societies, satanic societies, the Vatican, Jews, and Judaism, as I said, doesn't exist. It's a stealing of other cultures' stuff, and they just take what they like. You know, they took the idea for the Old Testament, what they call the Torah, yeah, from the Sumerian tablets. They took the angels from Zoroastrianism, and they took portions, maybe, of the Talmud and a few other books, and they claim them as their own. But they are not, because there was no such thing as Judaism. This came from Babylon before. It's Mesopotamian. It's pre all of these concepts that people are familiar with. This is older. So a lot of this is older and worse in some ways, and a little deeper in some ways, but dangerous. It's dangerous that there's knowledge like this, and they consider humans to be golems, and yet black magicians create golems out of dead matter by chanting at it. And that should be of concern to everyone, whether you are a human, spirit, or otherwise, or seeking to become human, or seeking to become spirit, or seeking to ascend, Jacob's ladder, whatever it is, whatever you believe in. This concerns you now. There was a time when spiritual warfare and having more knowledge was special. But now I see how dark it is and how much it hurts so many people. So the other night during the ritual that I did on my Johnny Ameru Ryan page, I armed a lot of women with daggers. Some had gold handles, some had silver handles. There were a good number of those handed out. And then it was last night I met the women that I had armed. I've been talking about Legion for a long time. And the goddess is a good friend of mine. She's been talking about Legion as well, as though we both had one. But I didn't know what it meant until recently. Two nights, last night, maybe this morning, maybe early this morning. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of chicks, women, Liliths, Eves, whatever. Those words should matter less to us as we become more united as you could say one. But remember, if we are one, then there's the possibility that another one is opposing us. So we'll say 111. 111.